Hello everyone, welcome to Lukman IS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 27th March 2021. So let us see which are the important articles in today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, these are the important articles for mains purpose and for prelims purpose. Let us take overview first of these articles. Yes, first article, dormant parliament fading business. So the article is discussing the issues which are involved in efficient and effective working of parliament as important organ for in a democracy for holding the government or executive accountable. Okay, so what are these issues from GS2 paper polity part we are going to understand here. Some important facts supported with these arguments provided by the writer. So these facts are important. Yes, deadly trail. So recent fire incident in Mumbai COVID-19 hospital that happened. So from disaster management GS3 paper mains examination, we are going to understand the issues involved here, the analysis very important, and the way forward is also provided in this editorial on page number 8. Then poll bond sale can go ahead, Supreme Court. Yes, earlier we were discussing about the yes, electoral bond scheme of the government. So here now Supreme Court has given the way ahead, go ahead for selling of these electoral bonds ahead of these assembly elections now. Okay, so this is the development in which are the arguments provided by Supreme Courts regarding the allegations over these electoral bond scheme. We'll have a look in this particular article. Move health to concurrent list. Now this is the suggestion given by N.K. Singh, the chairman of 15th Finance Commission. He has provided some suggestions for health sector, improvement in the health sector. So that is important for GS2 paper governance, human resource development, HRD part. Okay. Specifically for prelims related articles, concurrent list. So here it is mention of concurrent list. So we are going to understand basics of division of power between center and state government that is enshrined in our constitution in 7th schedule of Indian constitution, which are these 3 lists, and then details about concurrent list. Then next, Eritrea will pull out troops from Tigray, Ethiopian Prime Minister. So yes, let us understand what is the issue going on in Ethiopia, and we'll understand some geography mapping part, what is GERD and Nile River, about Nile River. So question can be asked in prelims examination from geography, world geography part. Okay, so we'll take input accordingly. Next, Suez Canal blocked, India eyes Cape of Good Hope. So as the Suez Canal is blocked because of that evergreen vessel, and now many shipments will be blocked because of that, and therefore the alternate route through this Cape of Good Hope in Africa. So what is that? We'll look into the map of Africa, what is that route, and the kind of, let's say, planning that is being done by our Commerce Ministry for import and export, that we'll understand here from economy part. Okay, yes. So let us go into details of all these articles. First article, dormant parliament fading business. Let us understand this from GS2 polity part. The working of parliament in recent times has come under scanner because of various issues involved. What are these issues? First and foremost is that less time for discussion and deliberation on the bills. So the working of the parliament overall has reduced in last 1 or 2 decades, and this has increased in recent 16th and 17th Lok Sabha that we are observing. In last 1 year overall, it has reduced. How? The Lok Sabha sitting for last 1 year for 34 days and Rajya Sabha 33 days, lowest ever in 1 year. This is happened because of COVID-19, we can understand this. However, in other countries, the legislature has been working and been discussing all these legislations on the online platforms also. Such working platform has been devised in some of the developed countries, Western countries, and India should also look forward for such platform, because this COVID-19, as we are observing the second wave also, so in future we may need such platform. Okay. This year the budget session that was truncated ahead for 2 weeks because of the assembly elections, and some of the MPs from those states, they were demanding that the budget session should be ended before 2 weeks. Okay, so that was also reduced. Last year, because of COVID-19 pandemic, yes, we did not have winter session, monsoon session was delayed and truncated also. Okay, this was the issue. Second issue is that the absence of careful scrutiny of bills. Okay, now the careful scrutiny, here we are talking about that many of these bills are not referred to parliamentary standing committees. So yes, if you are talking about example of present session, 13 bills were introduced in this budget session and none of it was referred to parliamentary standing committee. This is the situation, and overall if we are talking about the trend, so 14th Lok Sabha, 15th Lok Sabha had 70% and 60% of the bills referred to parliamentary standing committees, and now it is continuously changing. 16th Lok Sabha had record of 27% of the bills referred, and at present going on 17th Lok Sabha, it is again less than this one, okay, about 11% or 12%. This is the situation that we have, the declining trend of we can say this practice of referring these bills to the expert committee or parliamentary standing committee for further scrutiny, detailed scrutiny of these bills, because the role of parliamentary standing committees is very important. In the past we have seen, if we are talking about motor vehicle bill or the amendment to that bill or other such bills, important inputs are given by these standing committees after detailed scrutiny, and the bills are more comprehensive after such incorporating of these recommendations. Okay, so that's why their significance is important. These committees are allowed to have the expert opinion, so they can seek the expert opinion or domain expertise of that particular subject being dealt in that particular bill. Okay, so that's why it is important. Next we have to understand is that dubious practice of marking bills as money bills. For example, Aadhaar bill 2016, this was marked as money bill. Many such bills are marked like many of the provisions in the finance bill. Now we know that finance bill is money bill, and many provisions unrelated to money bill under article 110, they are included in the finance bill and they are passed. Why they are doing this? Because yes, the government, when it did not have the majority in Rajya Sabha, they had to adopt this money bill path. Okay, because for money bill there are very less powers available to Rajya Sabha. Almost no power is available. They have to pass this money bill in within the 14 days, otherwise the bill would be considered as passed. The recommendations which are provided by Rajya Sabha, the Lok Sabha may accept or reject those recommendations on this particular bill. So Rajya Sabha is having less powers, and that's why this is not good thing. Marking the bills as money bills, it somehow bypass the scrutiny of upper house of the parliament. Next, ineffective discussion on the budget. So if we are talking about the present budget, 76% of the budget, total budget was approved without any discussion. So in detailed discussion is not happening on this budget, and therefore again it reduces the effectiveness of parliamentary scrutiny. And lastly, absence of deputy speaker in the 17th Lok Sabha, ongoing Lok Sabha, that is there. So yes, this is bone of contention. From time to time the opposition party has ask the government to elect the position for deputy speaker. Yes, under Article 93 of Indian Constitution. These facts are important, this data is important that we are providing here. Under Article 93 of the Indian Constitution, it asks for lower house of the parliament to elect the positions of speaker and deputy speaker of the Lok Sabha as soon as possible after getting elected, or after election of the house, general elections. Okay, so you need to mention in the answer some facts, references to the articles of the constitution, article 93. So deputy speaker position has been vacant and the need was felt in this session also. Why? Because the speaker of Lok Sabha was ill and could not chair or preside over the sessions, some of the sittings of the session. So that's why the need of deputy speaker was felt. Okay. So these are the issues that are there in present parliamentary working, and why it has been continuously criticized for its inefficiency and ineffectiveness. Now the way forward which is provided in this article is that for better scrutiny of these bills, the MPs in the parliament should be provided with some mechanism where they can seek expert opinion. That means we can say a system of research support to member of parliament. Research support. So this can be given, a system can be created for such research support. At the same time, enough amount of time can be provided to these committees or MPs to examine the issues in these bills. And lastly, but not least, yes, the bills and budgets, all bills and budgets are to be referred and examined by the parliamentary committees, and the public feedback is taken on these bills. Okay, this is how more nuances of detailed nuances of all these issues can be discussed, and more comprehensive bills can be tabled in the parliament and passed and enacted by the parliament. Okay, so such kind of question we are expecting here. Parliament has the central role in our democracy as a representative body that check the work of the government, right? So we had adopted in our constitution the kind of system of checks and balances among the three organs of the government or state, we will say the executive, legislature and judiciary. So executive is responsible to the legislature, and some of the provisions in our constitution, the legislature holds the executive accountable. Okay. With reference to this statement, examine the issues faced in effective functioning of the parliament. Okay. Yes. Moving on, deadly trail. So the context of the article, recent fire accident that happened in COVID-19 hospital, temporary COVID-19 hospital created in Mumbai's Bhandup area. So what happened here is the fire accident happened in one of the temporary COVID-19 hospital in this particular area. This hospital was created last year by converting the commercial mall area into the temporary hospital. So again the issue is at forefront. Similar kind of accidents happened earlier in Maharashtra, Bhandara district government civil hospital, district level hospital. At the same time in Gujarat also there were many such instances of fire accident in COVID-19 facilities, hospitals and facilities. Okay, that's why we have to understand that how hospitals and the fire accidents in hospitals are different, more critical as compared to other establishments, how they devastate the lives and property of the people, and that's why some of the important steps are to be taken. So after this incident, surely the state government has announced certain compensation, and yes, has assured that there will be inquiry into the incident. Okay. Now analysis, we have to understand that the hospital fires are distinct entity in the literature on safety. Why? Because the kind of instruments that are there in hospitals, they are very much different. The infrastructure is very much different than the other establishments. For example, the presence of incapacitated patients, oxygen suffused environments, plenty of air conditioning and lack of sufficient physical space creates devastating combination when disaster strikes in hospital areas. That is why it makes a very specific case for fire safety. Next aspect, you have to understand that such incidences that are happening in COVID-19 pandemic times, it shows the neglect of policies on public safety in the country, at the same time ineffective nature of inspections and certifications for fire safety standards by administration. Okay. At the same time, it is having very much devastating impact on public health, life and property. Okay. So, that is why certain measures are needed to be taken. What are the measures that are required? As a way forward, you need to know that there are NDMA guidelines on fire safety. So, which are these guidelines? So, National Disaster Management Guidelines of 2016 issued by NDMA, they needed to be implemented in a strict manner, and the monitoring and further feedback is to be taken on implementation of these guidelines. Next, after this Rajkot incident, Gujarat 2020 November month, Supreme Court took suo motu cognizance of incident and issued certain directions. For example, it asked to have a dedicated officer with fire safety for these COVID-19 hospitals. Each COVID-19 hospital is supposed to have a dedicated officer for fire safety, responsible for fire safety now. Okay. Next suggestion here is the experts should assess the quality of infrastructure, specifically electrical installations, ensuring retrofitting of structure with flame retardant material and triaging of patients to reduce crowding. So, these are some technical terms like flame retardant material and yes, retrofitting of establishments, all these things. What do you mean by triaging of patients? So, triage principles is very important aspect. It can be asked in ethics paper also, in case studies that we have to understand. So, triage principle is that principle wherein we prioritize patients in the hospital. So, the patients which require the critical service, like we can say those requiring the oxygen supply, or the ventilators or critical patients, accordingly those patients should be prioritized. Those patients which do not require that much care, so they should be allowed to go home as early as possible. So, the infrastructure, the services provided at the hospital should be prioritized here. Okay, on the basis of outcome, which particular patient has more chances of survival. Accordingly, the panel of the hospital made up of doctors, they decide on the priorities given to be given here. So, such triaging of patients to reduce the overcrowding in the hospitals can be done. Okay. So, some technical terms are there, but you can use them in your answers here. Yes, and lastly, create scientifically designed public health facilities. This is very important. In the planning part itself, the fire safety is very important aspect of construction of any building. Okay, so at the planning level itself, all the public offices, or we can say public establishment, health facilities, they should be designed scientifically by incorporating into all these fire safety standards. Fine. So, the way forward you should mention in your answer what kind of question we are expecting. The incidences of hospital fires in India, especially during COVID-19 pandemic, have increased. Why hospital fires are more devastating compared to other fire incidences? Then discuss the measures that should be taken by administration to reduce such instances. Okay, so you can take input from this article while answering this question. Next, now poll bond sale can go ahead. Supreme Court refused to put a stay on sale of electoral bonds prior to assembly elections in crucial states such as West Bengal and Tamil Nadu. Okay, so now the Supreme Court had given some counter arguments on the allegations put on this electoral bond scheme by one of the NGO in petition before Supreme Court. What are these allegations? Anonymity of buyers. This is first allegation. What is Supreme Court saying here? The scheme provides anonymity but ensures that everything happens only through banking channel. Now this is correct. The buying person is also buying these bonds through banks, online also. At the same time, the political party having dedicated bank account to we can say encash those bonds. So it is happening through banking channel, though we have the anonymity of buyers. Second thing, corporate houses can finance political parties. Yes, that is correct. However, anyone buying bonds will have to fulfill KYC norms put forward by RBI. KYC norms, know your customer norms of RBI or banks. The money spent will reflect in the expense sheets of the company. So we can have trail of who had funded how much money. Third thing, foreign corporate houses can buy bonds and influence the electoral politics. This was allegation. Now bonds can be purchased only by person who is citizen of India or incorporated or established in India. The company, you will say. Okay, so foreign companies or houses cannot directly buy these bonds or fund the elections. And fourth allegation, bonds bought with white money can be repurchased with black money. However, here the argument is provided that bonds are not tradable. Legally, obviously, illegally they can be traded by black money, but no person will be willing to buy these bonds and convert their white money to black money. Right, surely the persons will always try to convert black money to white money. Why a person or the company would want to convert their white money to black money, right? So such arguments are provided by Supreme Court here. Yes, surely there will be further analysis on this judgment here. So what we need to take input is the arguments and counter arguments provided by Supreme Court here. So GS2 paper polity part, we are having follow up on this electoral bond scheme. Next, move health to concurrent list. Now this is the suggestion given by N.K. Singh, the chairman of 15th Finance Commission on health sector. Yes, important points that you can directly use the reference of N.K. Singh here, because he is the noted personality and important personality. So health sector should be shifted to concurrent list under Indian Constitution. Why he had provided this suggestion? Because the regulation of health sector and establishing certain standards in health sector can be easily done when the subject is in concurrent list. At present, the health is the subject in state list. At present, health is in state list. Okay. Then the Development Finance Institution DFI can be established dedicated to healthcare investment. At present, the dedicated finance institution DFI for infrastructure projects is being established by the government. A similar kind of institution can be established for health sector also. Enhancing government spending on health to 2.5% of GDP by 2025. At present, it is near around 1.4 to 1.5% of the GDP. So yes, our target is to double that, and yes, 2.5% should be increased by 2025. This is very important. And universalizing healthcare insurance, as large section of society still remain uninsured, we can say that, or uncovered. Fine. So the healthcare insurance is very important part of preventive healthcare. At the same time, the kind of health insurance penetration that we have at present is very minimal. We need to increase this. In this regard, we have Ayushman Bharat scheme at present. Its cover needs to increase further by increasing more and more empanelment of hospitals. Fine. So, you can take input for governance and HRD part, GS 2 paper mains examination. Next, yes, as it has the mention of concurrent list, so some basics are to be covered from polity part, that yes, Indian constitution provides for division of power between state and central government under 7th schedule of Indian constitution and article 246. This article 246 provides for 3 important lists, wherein the subjects are divided in these 3 lists, and the state legislature and central legislature, union legislature has powers to legislate on these subjects accordingly. So, yes, which are these? Union list having 100 subjects, state list having 61 subjects, concurrent list having 52 subjects at present. So, here as the mention is of concurrent list, let us try to understand concurrent list. So, originally it had 47 subjects only, but through 42nd Amendment Act 1976, 5 such subjects from state list were transferred to this concurrent list. Which are these 5 subjects? They can ask you in prelims examination: education, forest, protection of wildlife and birds, weights and measures, administration of justice, constitution and organization of all courts except High Court and Supreme Court. Okay. So, this was from state list to concurrent list, shifted to concurrent list. Now, this system of having the concurrent list was adopted from the Australian constitution. This can be asked in examination, and those subjects in we can say given in concurrent list, both central legislature as well as state legislature has the powers to legislate on these subjects. Suppose there is any conflict between those laws, we can say the central government law or the parliament's, the one that is passed by the parliament will be overriding over the state legislature. Okay, this much information is sufficient for prelims perspective, 7th schedule of Indian constitution. Yes, next, Eritrea will pull out troops from Tigray. Ethiopian Prime Minister. So, Ethiopian Prime Minister, the name Abiy Ahmed, he was in news in 2019 for Nobel Peace Prize. So, he has won this Nobel Peace Prize for ensuring peace in that area. So, there was always conflict going on in that region, and he brokered peace very successfully. That is why he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2019. Actually, what happened at present is this Tigray region, you can see in the map of Ethiopia. This is the map of Ethiopia. Yes. So, you can see here the map of Ethiopia, sorry. Now, this Ethiopia is having certain problems or this conflict zone. This is called as Tigray. This particular zone is Tigray zone, and the particular political party here, Tigray People's Liberation Front, this had attacked the army camps of Ethiopia in this region, as there was postponing of elections of the in the country because of COVID-19 last year, and therefore Ethiopia had sent the armed forces in that conflict region. So, what you need to remember is the Tigray zone is in Ethiopia. So, UPSC is asking match the following type of question for conflict zones and in which country they belong to. Okay. So, like for example, Darfur region they had asked, For that matter, you need to know Tigray zone in Ethiopia. Okay, so from geography part, what you need to know is which countries are having border with Ethiopia. You can see this is Ethiopia, and now, yes, so which are these countries having border with Ethiopia? You have Eritrea, Djibouti, Somalia, then Sudan is there, South Sudan is there, and Kenya is there. Okay, these countries are having the border with Ethiopia. So another important information development that you need to know, last year it was in news, GERD. So Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam and the conflict of Ethiopia, Sudan and Egypt over this dam. So what is that? Let us try to understand from prelims perspective. You can see the location of this dam. This dam is being built across Blue Nile River, which originates in Ethiopia at Lake Tana in Ethiopia. So you can see how it is moving. This is the location of dam in Ethiopia, GERD. This is touted as the largest hydroelectricity dam being built in Africa. Okay, so 6,450 megawatt hydroelectricity project. There are some concerns like changes in river ecology and the pollution of the Nile River because of this changes. At the same time, Sudan and Egypt is very much concerned over this dam, having concerns over this dam because the reduced water flow in Nile River. Now some geography part again about the Nile River. Yes, information about the Nile River. First, let us understand the location. Nile River is having the headwaters of two rivers, Blue Nile River and White Nile River. So Blue Nile River originates at Lake Tana and the other one is White Nile River originating at Lake Victoria in Uganda. Okay, so Lake Tana is located in Ethiopia, Lake Victoria is part of Uganda and other different countries like Kenya also. Okay, now what you have to remember here is that these two rivers having confluence in Sudan and then further it is known as Nile River, then flowing through Egypt and then Nile Delta is formed, it is draining into Mediterranean Sea. Okay, so Nile River flows into Mediterranean Sea, form Arcuate Delta and yes, this is the basic information. Now the direction of flow you can see here, south to north, the flowing origin of the river. Just now we talked about Blue Nile River and White Nile River. Fine. Okay. So this is the information. What kind of prelims question we are expecting here? Can we expect such kind of question? Let us try to solve this. Which of the following statements? Consider the following statement. Blue Nile River originates from Lake Victoria. No. It originates at Lake Tana, not Victoria, and it is located in Ethiopia. So this is incorrect statement. Yes, they are asking which of them is correct. White Nile River originates from Lake Tana. No, this is incorrect. It originates at Lake Victoria, right? So they are interchanged here. So this is also incorrect. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is being built across Blue Nile River. Yes, this is correct. So that's why the answer should be C, only 3. Fine. This is how we have to approach to this question in prelims examination. Next, Suez Canal blocked, India eyes Cape of Good Hope. Yes, recent Suez Canal blocking by Evergreen ship. So there is blockage, there will be more and more delaying of ships from moving from this region now, Suez Canal. So this is the existing route that we have through Suez Canal here, Mediterranean Sea, and we have moving of ships to Arabian Sea like this, and then India, China and other Southeast Asian nations, movement of all the trade. Now as it is blocked and there will be delay of movement, so India along with other countries will be exploring the alternative route. What is the alternative route? Around the Cape of Good Hope. So this is the Cape of Good Hope, and the movement can be happening like this. Other European countries like this, okay, or to India also like this. This is the alternative route. So surely when the Suez Canal was not there, this was the original route to reach India and China or other countries in Asia. This was the original route by the ships from Mediterranean region or the European countries. They crossed this Cape of Good Hope and then entered into Indian Ocean and Asian countries. Fine? Okay. So this particular alternate route takes additional 15 days of time. Okay. So this much information is sufficient. And lastly, important captions and quotation. Yes, that caption of in the first article, Parliament has the central role in our democracy as the representative body that checks the work of government, executive. Fine? Okay. So you can take input for GS2 paper or essay paper regarding democracy, parliaments working, all these things. Fine. Okay. So these were important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Try to take input for mains as well as prelims examination. Try to solve as many prelims questions, MCQs as possible from current affairs as the prelims examination is nearing day by day. ओके अगर ये आपको वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो इसको शेयर कीजिए. द मोर यू शेयर द मोर यू केयर ऑफ योर फ्रेंड्स, एंड sharing is caring. This is the new trend that we are having. So share the link of this video to your friends, those who are preparing for this examination. At the same time, if you have liked this video, then give your view in the comment box about this video and subscribe to Lukman IAS channel. For further information on editorial discussion classes or ED classes wherein in-depth analysis of mains related issues and articles is done by Ansari sir and team, you can contact Lukman IAS. Thank you.